Oh, hello. Can I speak to Nick Briggs, please? Nick! Hi. Chris here. Chris Dale? From the Jerry Anderson podcast? You know, the guy at the end who... yes, the weirdo from the conventions. Yes, that's right. Anyway, I hear you fine folks at Big Finish are doing a new audio series of Space 1999. And I was just wondering... What's that? I've called you about this every day for the last 8 months. Well, yes, but I mean, look, I already have my own eagle right here. Listen. See? And I already have my own staple gun and my own... Hello? Hello? Ah, must be some sort of interference. Oh, hello everyone. Well, how exciting! A new incarnation of my very favourite Jerry Anderson series, which promises to deliver all the action and excitement that made the original series so special. And the Randomiser is also feeling the Space 1999 love this week, as it selected an episode that offers absolutely none of those things. In fact, it's one of my least favourite episodes of the entire series. Here's New Adam, New Eve. Nick?
So, welcome back to Space 1999 Season 2. I'm sure lots of people have been missing it. And I may have said before, I like Series 2 of Space 1999. I don't have a problem with it because I know that the changes that were made for the second year kind of had to be made. At least that's what the higher-ups at ITC thought. You know, they had to make these changes, otherwise there would be no more episodes. And I would rather have the second season that we got than no second season at all. Unfortunately, there are several episodes that are not good. Not good. And this is one of my least favourites.
1,095 days.
Oh, but, you know, like with Torchy, it gets it out of the way.
A strange presence is among us, taking control.
And after that very florid log entry from Helena,
something out there,
which I think was... it looked like it was covering actual recorded dialogue. The characters were speaking, but we couldn't hear their mouths.
Turbulence is magnetic.
Might have been meant to cover some dialogue, and in the end just got more convoluted than probably what was there already anyway.
There's something there.
Have a planet? Oh, and people passing out. Annie Lambert from 4 to Doomsday has just collapsed.
Faint, but her vital signs are down. Alan?
Oh, Alan's going now as well. No, he's alright. He's okay. It's very similar to the opening of
I'm alright.
the Beta Cloud. Oh, Yasko.
It's like thunder. Here.
Thank you. That was one of your crowning moments. Oh, I love that. I would get that on a Yasko t-shirt if I could. It's like thunder here. She's so sweet. She's so vacant, but she's so sweet. Anyway, lots of sparkly images appearing on the big screen, which is actually bringing in extras who weren't even in Command Center at the time. People are coming in from outside specifically to gawp at this kaleidoscope. This pretty kaleidoscope. And some very trippy imagery actually in the second season, and I know there were elements of the first season that was a bit trippy, but some lovely kaleidoscope effects in this, and the Tabor coupled with the strange music. It's all very 70s. We now have this man in a blue robe swimming by the looks of it towards the camera.
Who are you?
I am your creator.
Oh, here we go. Yep, it's that story. It's the all-powerful being turns up, claiming to be God. Anyone seen that story anywhere else before? I know I have.
I'm sorry, I can't do any better.
Oh, no, Yasko, all your best lines are coming out so far in this episode. If that was a line that was... If we needed a Yasko line that just sums her up, there it was. Oh, for a moment I had hope. Magus, spoiler alert, that's this guy's name, just materialised with the same spinning silver effect that the dragon did in Dragon's Domain, and he was standing in the doorway. Just for a second I thought we might get something good here. Unfortunately, we do not. We have this guy.
I do assure you that I am
what you would call the genuine article.
And here we have, I think, the first flaw of this episode, and it is quite a serious one. The guy playing this would-be god, the actor's name is Guy Rolfe, and he's
Over a meal.
he's not quite got it. He's not quite got that sort of
That went out with Nero.
commanding but benevolent presence that the role really requires.
It's a little old-fashioned.
And I just wonder if this episode had appeared in the first season, and I still don't think it would have worked. But I wonder who they would have cast in the role then, because and I hate to sound sort of mean about this, but I think
Pure protein.
Guy Rolfe is kind of like a sort of
nectar. One glassful
bargain basement type god in this episode. He's in the first season. Oh, who would we have had for this? Would have been a big name.
However, one thing that does seem to have impressed you in the past is force.
There we go. Random acts of violence. Oh, that's not fair. Oh, there we go. I was going to say that wasn't fair because he waved his hand, an eagle on a launch pad just turned purple and then was a pile of rubble. I thought we weren't going to get an explosion, but then we did.
Whoever you are, you have a great deal of power. Now, what do you want with us?
Just keep blowing up eagles. That's going to be more entertaining than anything else you do.
You've been a great disappointment to me. All those wars, your willful squandering of the natural resources of the planet I gave you, your pollution of it.
That minor issue of possibly blowing up said planet, not entirely sure.
I'm going to give you something that I have never allowed to any other species.
A Furby.
A second chance.
Oh.
New Earth.
The finest indoor studio your set designers can come up with. Behold!
It's just that your answer is so exactly what it should be if you are what you say you are.
Well, somebody's
Ideal for humankind.
signed up to the cult already. You're very quick to jump the gun there. Helena's almost all but jumping up and down. She's really keen to go.
The planet could support us.
And we could
Luckily, everyone else is more or less in character. They're interested, but they're sort of not so much willing to be led by the hand as Helena clearly is. She can't stop smiling.
All right, Magus. We accept your invitation.
Excellent. Then I suggest the team should be as follows. Yourself, of course, as leader, since you are the only one to make the decisions. The lovely creature Maya must go, as scientific officer, naturally. The equally enchanting Dr. Russell, as medical officer. And Mr. Badeshi.
Oh, and
Because whether he
Professor
is
Bergman,
someone
where is
who's a
he
farmer
these
at
days?
heart, like generations
I would have liked to have actually seen
I'm commander of this base.
Professor Bergman dealing with Magus. Again, I just think, oh, what could this episode have been in the first year? And instead in the second, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, we're just sort of...
that or none.
This is a huge disappointment.
Yasko, preparing for liftoff.
Yasko, acknowledge. Yasko?
Clear to lift off, Eagle 4.
Oh, finally, okay. Took a moment, but she was there. She was there, on the ball as ever. Oh, and the eagle has just faded away. Instantly materialised on the new planet. New Earth, of course.
Yasko. Yasko.
Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that Magus is blocking communication to Alpha. It could just simply be that Yasko is...
Come back later.
I don't know, she's fallen asleep or she's been distracted by a butterfly or something.
Commander Koenig, do you read me? Do you read me? Commander Koenig, come in, Commander Koenig.
I'm staring at Nick Tate's... Oh, I nearly said I'm staring at Nick Tate's chest there, as I'm sure many fans of the show have done over the years. I was actually staring at his ID badge. He's got his photo on there, but the haircut doesn't look anything like his normal haircut. It's very short, but also quite sideburny.
Wow.
Wonder when that was taken. Never really noticed that before.
It is the Garden of Eden Mark II. You will be very happy here.
Well, I'd like to make a feasibility
No,
study.
it seems like everybody's fallen for this thing now, except Koenig.
Gardens of Eden.
Tony and Maya have joined Helena in the Smiling Like an Idiot club.
Coming down. You are my new Adams, my new Eves.
So it was just New Earth for the 4 of them, not for everyone else on Alpha.
For you, this is the first day of creation.
So Magus has chosen these 4 to populate his new Earth, to be his new Adams and new Eves.
Moonbase Alpha.
I'm just thinking, why these 4, aside from the fact that they're the main characters?
Come in, Commander Koenig.
I mean, without getting too sort of
They'll be down on that planet.
personal about it.
One thing's for sure. We're certainly not going to find them by sitting on our butts here.
If you want, like, the best breeding stock from the Alphans, if you want, like, the sort of the genes that are really worth preserving and including in your new world, why the hell isn't Alan here?
Pair bonding?
Why, I mean, come on. He's so man. He's so man. Yeah, why would you leave him behind and
That you, Helena, should be Tony's mate,
pick Tony?
and you, Maya,
I mean, you know, no offense to Tony, but come on, Alan is like proper rugged, all action Aussie bloke.
It's very bad manners, and besides that, it's very bad psychology.
Very bad
It's also bad
manners.
biology.
Forcing us to pair off with people against our will. It's very bad manners. It's just not done.
We make our own choices.
much less often than you think. As for you, my dear, your natural aristocracy allied to Mr. Vadeshi here.
Mr. Vadeshi with the qualities of
Your offspring
well, he's got a nice haircut.
that. You couldn't just say children.
And this is something that
Overlooked.
occurred a few times in this
There's something
earlier half,
You don't recognize that.
first half of the second season. People became, and the Alphans' adversaries became really interested
There is
in
just one rule.
relationships. You know, one moment of humanity. Brian the Brain. People are sort of putting the lead characters through like these love test things, and it's just so pointless. We know what these characters feel for each other. We know that because of the episodic nature of the show, they're never going to be able to advance their relationship properly, and it just makes the villains look kind of just sort of like slightly perverted, slightly deviant-ish, that they're just like, come on, let's watch you guys making out. Come on, that's what I want to see.
It'd be good to have a moon. We've never had one before.
I suppose in this episode it does make sense more than it does in the others, but even so, it's kind of an old running theme through the first half of the season.
Oh, by the way, you'll find its light has all the magical romantic qualities associated with it on old Earth.
Bye again. Just dropped in to say that, now I'm off again. Lovely model work in this episode, though. I'm not a huge fan of the forest set. I think they did it much better in the Immunity Syndrome, but this model forest and the way it just cut from daytime to night there with the stars suddenly coming up, it's beautiful.
It's disappeared.
We couldn't really expect him to miss that trick, could we?
That's it. No, it's still there somewhere, only he's exerting some power to disperse its particles, like powder dissolving in a liquid.
How can you tell that just by looking? I know you're a genius, but even you have got to have your limits.
It's been 24 hours, Yesko. I'm going after them.
Clear to lift off, Eagle One.
And again, this is another sort of stock sci-fi thing where if we have some main characters stranded on a planet, we have to keep cutting back to, in this case, Alpha, but in Star Trek it would be the Enterprise, to see characters failing in attempts to reach their colleagues or failing in attempts to find them. And I suppose there's only so many ways you can write scenes like that, but it's always so disappointing to cut back and know exactly what you're going to see before even the character starts speaking.
Try Helena.
So now Magus has induced some kind of static charge in our 4 leads, which means that John and Helena can't touch each other, Maya and Tony can't touch each other, but John and Maya, they're alright to touch, and Helena and Tony are alright to touch.
Magnetic field cocoons. Positive, negative.
Pairing them off in exactly the way Magus wants. Lovely image of the moon just rising up over the mountains. I mean, you can almost sort of feel that Magus is kind of pushing it up there to push the romantic atmosphere here. Yeah, I remember when I first saw this episode. It was on BBC Two in 1998, maybe even 9-ish. And I was on board with the changes for the second season at first.
Little matchmaker in the sky.
But then you hit this run from like One Moment of Humanity through to...
Yes.
I suppose the next really good one is the AB Chrysalis with Journey to Where is in there as well. But you have this run of half a dozen fairly rubbishy episodes, and it was just so disappointing. Oh God, and now the characters are staring at each other in soft focus.
I said yes.
While the lovey-dovey music is playing, but even in high definition, it's so blurry as to be almost unwatchable.
The fire.
Meanwhile, Helena appears to be well and truly away. She's not concerned by any of this, staring up at the sky with a dreamy expression on her face.
I wonder who does his arrangements.
I wonder too.
Wow. You two are going to have some very stupid children.
That's an interesting theory of yours.
And here we come up with one of my favourite ideas of the second series, and it's just glossed over really quickly.
An interesting thing. We managed to find our God, the creator of this universe, to find that he had a God who created a bigger one.
Now that is a story that I would love to see. So what, the Psychons actually went looking for their god and they found him? Like he was just sort of sitting on a rock somewhere and saying, "Hi, yep, I'm your god."
Learn to explain it.
What? It's such an offhand comment that's just thrown away, and I've always felt there was so much story potential in that one line, and it would do so much to, I don't know, to flesh out the Maya's backstory a bit more, to give a bit more detail to the Psychon culture, especially one that we meet very few Psychons. We meet Maya, obviously, her father mentor, and Dorzak, and they all seem very science focused. It seems a very scientific culture, Psychon, and
as divine.
For a culture like that to have a god, but also to find him, that would just be,
We are.
earth-shattering. But instead we have this, and the smeary vision soft focus is back. I mean, I can barely make out what's happening. I mean, I'm watching in high definition, but this almost looks fuzzy enough to be VHS. It's terrible. Anyway, Koenig and
Can't fight City Hall forever.
Maya and Helena and Tony are getting down to business, just like Magus wants. Oh, I was going to say that myself, but thank you, episode, for filling in my feelings on the matter. I have never been so happy to see a man in a gorilla suit in my life. Oh. Yeah, we have a gorilla suit alien with a papier-mâché green face beating up... I think I've described him as the Michelin Man's hobo cousin before, which is a description I stand by. Oh, and they shot the poor old gorilla costume guy. He's now hiding in the bushes. And at least it broke up the kiss fest. Gonna have much more of that. Oh no, he's got Helena! Oh no! Ah, that's it. Maya in another rubber monster costume to the rescue. As much as I said I enjoy the second season, I look at this and, it's two guys in rubber suits flailing around. We've fallen a very long way from the Black Sun. And you know that so many talented people put so much hard work and time and energy and money into this. And it looks so dreadful. All these silly costumes. Oh dear. Well, that's that over with.
The creature went on the cave, left some tracks. Let's follow them.
Oh, explosion! I like me some explosions in there.
You have been
Why do you disobey? Go back!
Now have a great big Magus face in the sky firing purple lasers out of his eyes.
Go back!
And I know it's meant to seem imposing and commanding, but it feels very Star Trek V, you know, the same way that film tried and failed to realise God, or a version of God, in a very cheap way. This episode is starting to feel very similar.
What is it that makes the human species so perverse?
This from the man who is forcing people to get together against their will.
I forbade you to leave the glade because I knew the dangers that lay outside it.
Herds of men in gorilla suits wander the caves at night.
Throughout its whole history, your species has been notable for two things: asking interminable questions and injuring itself.
And ruthless efficiency are 3 weapons. Come in again.
Free will is also the right to walk out of this glade without you acting like something out of the book of Job.
Is the right to try.
Oh. Okay, throw down, right? Come on, Magus. Let's have you. Oh, he's going to do it as well. Koenig is walking up the rocks, and a stuntman nearby flips over backwards.
Helena, you all right? You're a big, big physicist.
What? A big, big physicist? Did I hear that right?
We already know there are other beings on this planet.
Oh my god, the dialogue. The dialogue. The plot. The characters. The guest star. Aside from that, we're doing okay though. Can he really not see Maya standing behind him, scanning him? Or does he just not care?
Like last night.
How did he know about that?
ESP?
No, I don't think so.
No, that was the other show that did a story about ESP.
Power source inside him.
An organic source?
No. It's an implant. Fantastically potent, and I don't know how it works, but it's mechanical.
So Maya has just turned into an owl?
Maya? Oh. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Oh, don't. You do realise she's an owl right now, don't you? Anyway, Maya has taken off to find Magus. Also seems to have turned into a kestrel. Not sure what that's about, other than it's reused footage from the Rules of Luton. Actual location filming from the quarry.
Okay, Alan.
Oh my god, meanwhile Alan and Yasko are still doing this thing. I do like the booster pods that have been mounted on either side of the Eagle. I think there's just been a model or a toy Eagle with these pods being released. Is it 1612 who released those? Look very nice, I would like one.
I'm going up to full power!
Of course, Magus is keeping the Eagle in place. Much to the consternation of Yasko and the rest of the Command Centre staff. And of course, having lost Paul and Kano and Matthias and at this point Sandra, we only have Yasko and a handful of extras reacting to what's going on, which is again quite a big difference from how things were in main mission in year 1. It's such a shame to think that all those characters and that set, when this was filmed, it was only a year or so since they were all in use. Now it's all gone. Anyway, Hawk, Kestrel, Planet Luton stock footage Maya has now landed on Magus' arm.
An owl. I thought you were all extinct down here. The more I learn, the less I know.
I should start writing scripts for Space 1999 Season 2.
You mean he caught you and let you go?
Which proves he's a Superman, but not supernatural.
What about the tracks? Did you find anything?
Well,
I found the
what?
same one.
Because
Only inside the glade as well.
only a Superman
Over
could
there,
tame an
really
owl,
bushes.
I guess.
Can't clearly from the air. Come on.
So we've now conveniently stumbled across a hidden entrance to the cave that Magus wouldn't get them in, wouldn't allow them to get into last night. Again, rather convenient that he's just chosen to quietly ignore them while they're doing all this. But it gives us a chance to reuse some of our old cave sets, just spray painted a different colour this week. What horrors could possibly be lurking on this obvious model set that we keep cutting to? Some kind of iguana thingy. Oh, and we shot it. Well, it's now turned into full-on attack of the iguanas here. We have... I'm sure it's probably only just one poor iguana that they got from the local pet shop, but they're making their money's worth out of it. Oh, you killed him. You killed the iguanas.
Stay here.
Stay here with the giant reptile's body. I'll go check for any more. Oh no, here's the Michelin Man again. Oh. And that's poor old Bernard Kay in this monster costume.
You would be doing what I desire.
Who is an actor who really could have played a great character in this show. But unfortunately, he's just wasted under all this latex and foam and...
Magus is the last of the line of cosmic magicians.
But he's trying his hardest. As he always tried his hardest with all the roles he played, I think.
The results of his manic probing into our earliest fertilized cells.
So now we know what Magus' naughty plan ultimately might lead to.
You won't even let us die. Down here is the...
So it's taken a very dark turn suddenly, but I've got to say, I'm still not interested.
There are a way through the caves that will lead us out of the glade.
And of course the implication is that there are more mutants like poor old Bernard Kay. But we never see any more after this.
Deceitful pygmies!
Oh, and after all that, it was all for nothing anyway, because Magus was waiting for them at the other end. So, having escaped from the glade, we're now in another glade. We may as well have just stayed where we were.
An immature and irresponsible reaction.
Oh. Although it's worth it to see Maya reading Magus the Riot Act. This is good. I like it when Catherine Shell gets to play this righteous indignation. She's very good in this show.
I was Simon Magus, who offered to buy the Nazarene's powers from his apostles. I was Merlin. I was not...
Oh, of course you are. Everybody is always Merlin in these things. Oh, yeah, always.
When the right time comes.
How did you get to Earth
with the kind of powers that I
and come away and come back again several times?
Help you to do that?
Again, there's the beginnings of an idea there, but it never really amounts to anything. Of this
destroy your companion
man who was perhaps influencing human development. But, you know, it's potentially a decent idea. It's just kind of glossed over.
Your life support.
In favour of blowing up more random Alphan buildings.
Repair crew to Section 8. Repair crew to Section 8.
Yeah, do we have to? Section 8 is kind of exploding right now. Can we wait till it's done?
We'll discuss it tomorrow.
Oh, good. Another wait until the plot can resume again tomorrow. I feel like I'm stuck in some kind of time loop with this episode. It's now night time again. And everyone's just sitting around talking while Magus is off having another nap. Do something, please.
I think I've got it.
Oh, good.
He needs light. His power comes from light.
So he's a solar-powered would-be god, then.
The sun is still shining.
Well, we saw him last night when we crossed the boundary.
No, we didn't.
So how, then, does he
Projection of himself.
cross deep space
Implant I detected in him.
if he doesn't have a spaceship and he's afraid of the dark?
Imagine light traveling at
Oh,
186 miles per second.
Well, for you, I'll try anything.
You find a way
oh, shut up.
Which means to block out the light.
How are we going to do that?
By being primitive. It's the last thing he'll expect from us.
You could just throw a jacket over his head. It's the one time your random assortment of bright-coloured jackets might actually be useful. Oh no, we're going to dig a big hole. With what? I don't know, because we only have our bare hands.
We'll be here in a minute. I'll gotta make sure it works.
And we're going to cover it with sticks and leaves and things. Gotta say, it looks pretty much like a trap that has zero chance of anybody with a brain falling into. But, well, This is Space 1999 Series 2, remember? And if they thought it was a good idea, then chances are there's every chance that...
It's a total blackout.
Oh, come on, really? So you guys are pinning all your hopes on basically a schoolboy prank at this point.
You will cooperate with me in my great work.
Well, if it ends the episode, I'm all for it, providing it works.
How dare you?
Oh, well, he's fallen into the pit, or rather his stunt double has. Oh, you can see the inside of the pit is lined with this sort of foam mattress.
Light! Give me light or we'll all die! Calling to Alpha! Calling to Alpha! Coming up!
Why can't Magus just teleport himself out of the pit?
Coming, Alpha!
Does he need to have like a constant...
Holding this planet together against the pull of our moon.
Constantly have light hitting him at all times? I don't understand why things go to custard so quickly here.
Calling to Alpha!
Anyway, they are. Lots of model shots of earthquakes and explosions. It's all very nice. Oh, the eagle's back. Oh no. Poor old Bernard K is not having a very good time in this episode.
You get aboard the Eagle! I'll meet you there!
Kenny's going to try and save him.
We'll take you all back with us! No! Thank you! No! This is the best thing for us! All of you! You go!
I'm fairly sure all my friends aren't interested in survival. I mean, I could ask them, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'll just die. That's fine. Don't worry about me. I mean, I know Koenig and Co. would have taken the mutants back, but they could have been dealing with quite a crowded trip home. They didn't know how many of them were there. And that also includes the guy in the gorilla suit, presumably. I don't know if he would have been a very cooperative passenger. Yeah, I would have liked to have maybe seen a bit more of the mutants. I mean, he said that they were male and female. Unless... Well, I don't know. I say that we saw 2 male mutants, but I could be wrong. Maybe the guy in the gorilla suit was a lady. Who knows? Anyway, planet has now exploded.
One cheek of light as the Earth broke up around him, and Magus has still got away with it.
That's a real long shot, isn't it?
Would you like to bet against it?
Nope.
Is that it? Is that the note you're ending the episode on? Oh god, seriously? That's it, okay. Did you guys just accidentally commit genocide? I think you might have done. Anyway, that was New Adam, New Eve. Oh, I always dread coming to this one on rewatches, and it didn't disappoint me this time round. Still one of my least favourite Space 1999 episodes of the second season or any season, so I am so glad that that one is out of the way now.